Tower Defense Simulator has had a history of collaborations with other Roblox games and other American companies. So initially there was the Philips Necrello x TDS, which was a shaver company x TDS collaboration, which I think was more Roblox sponsored than anything, and Tower Defense Simulator was somehow roped into it, even though I think Tower Defense Simulator was the more popular game to be on it. Then we had Please Donate X Tower Defense Simulator, which is the first time that Tower Defense Simulator has collaborated with another Roblox game. And now we have the Walmart X TDS collaboration, the Walmart Discovered Pass, even though I think Walmart is sponsoring other games. It's not just Tower Defense Simulator, whereas the Please Donate X TDS was between Tower Defense Simulator and Please Donate, but that's it. I did forget about one collaboration that Tower Defense Simulator did a while ago, that being for the Amazon Prime thing. I don't know exactly what that is, but Amazon Prime, with their Amazon Prime codes or whatever, in Roblox, they allow you to get some exclusive stuff, and also, back in 2023, I believe, the Prime Raven Scout was one of those things that you could get. So actually, that officially makes it 4 collaborations that Tower Defense Simulator has had with other American companies and other Roblox games. Of course, you then have the Arsenal X TDS collaboration, which is coming out probably 2034. Like, what's going to come out first? High Speed 2 in the United Kingdom, or the Arsenal X TDS collaboration? Who knows? Arsenal might win the Champions League before Arsenal collaborate with Tower Defense Simulator. Who knows? However, there was another collaboration which apparently Below Natural has talked about. In fact, he's talked about it yesterday as I record this video on the 7th of June. However, as far as I'm aware, this was the first proper leak of Tower Defense Simulator collaborating with another Roblox game that isn't Arsenal. So yesterday, when Below Natural was trying to divvy up support for the Tower Defense Simulator nominations in the Roblox Innovation Awards 2025, someone asked Below Natural to do the Pressure collab, I'm begging you please, and Below Natural said that it was planned, but I don't know what's going up with that right now. Now, for those that don't know, Pressure is another Roblox game, and I wouldn't have known what Pressure was unless I played the Hunt Mega Edition, because Pressure was firstly one of the hardest games to do for the Mega Token, but secondly, it was also part of the whole experience. So yeah, I know what Pressure is. Now, fun fact for Pressure, it's a horror game. Well, actually, it's called a survival game, and its subgenre is escape, but I consider it to be a horror game, which you may think is at odds with Paradoxum Games, given the fact that they're making a horror game of themselves, Alter Ego, and their artwork, while not entirely the same, it is quite similar in the horror theme. However, a lot of people, including myself, did not know that there was even a Pressure collaboration that was planned for Tower Defense Simulator, because this is the first time that Below Natural has ever talked about a Pressure collaboration. I have not seen anyone else say that Pressure was going to do a collaboration with Tower Defense Simulator, and this is the first time that a developer has officially stated it. And really, it's not even officially stated it. He just responded to someone saying to do the Pressure collaboration. So this person, for some reason, has insider knowledge that there was meant to be a Pressure collaboration. So I don't know how that happened, but as I'll soon discover probably, it probably isn't the case. Now, Below Natural has actually mentioned the fact that him and John Roblox, are making different Tower Defense Simulator games. As far as I'm aware, John Roblox is making Tower Defense X or something like that. So back in 2024, someone asked them if that John and Below Natural were okay, and will they really make a TDS and TDX event? Because I believe one of the developers in Tower Defense Simulator said that they would be open to the idea of a Tower Defense Simulator and Tower Defense X collaboration, and Below Natural responded that they were cool, and we've talked about it in the past, but it's a lot of work since both of us have a lot of plans with both of our games in the upcoming year. Not really officially saying that it's off the cards. There's not going to be a TDS X, TDX event. However, he doesn't say it's confirmed, and it may happen. It's not confirmed. I would like to repeat that. However, in response to this, I believe this is the developer for Pressure. He said that the games that I want to collaborate with, Decaying Winter, he's got that, a Tower Defense game, Identity Fraud, Survivor Night, da-da-da. Now, as far as I'm aware, this was on the May 2024, 10th of May, and while Tower Defense Simulator could fit the billing for a Tower Defense game, that wasn't confirmed here. However, this is the first time that it's mentioned that I believe the developer for Pressure has mentioned this. In fact, the next time that this would be mentioned would be Adversary, where he responded to someone asking, any Roblox games you want to collaborate with Tower Defense Simulator. Adversary said, Pressure collaboration would be cool, in my opinion. This was before the Hunt Mega Edition, which is when I discovered what Pressure actually is. It's like a survival-ish horror game. So like the developers in Tower Defense Simulator, well at least Adversary, stated that a Pressure collaboration would be cool, and Pressure themselves said a Tower Defense Simulator collaboration would be cool. You can probably see why there may have been talkings between the two development teams saying, yes, we want to do a collaboration with each other. So in terms of all of the leaks for a Pressure x TDS collaboration, that's really it. There have been some murmurings from other people asking for a TDS x Pressure collaboration, or even just speculating on a TDS x Pressure collaboration. However, nothing has been confirmed by the developers, and in fact nothing was really confirmed by Below Natural until now. We didn't know that there was going to be a Pressure x TDS collaboration. There were murmurings of it, and you can see that the development teams were aligned with each other for it, but no confirmation until now by Below Natural. Now, any collaboration with Pressure from Tower Defense Simulator probably is going to be something similar to the Please Donate event, where in Tower Defense Simulator there's going to be a map, probably a horror-themed map, where you defeat enemies that are probably Pressure-themed. I don't know what the theme of Pressure is, like I don't know who the creators are, I don't know if there are any enemies. Actually, I do know there are enemies in Pressure, but I don't know how relatable they are to Tower Defense Simulator, or if they can be used in Tower Defense Simulator. Like, for example, Please Donate, it has enemies which are considered to be like Roblox standard stuff, like the noob, the guest, the trader, stuff like that, because Please Donate, as far as I'm aware, don't have their own characters, apart from Hazm, who is the developer of the game and is the final boss. So perhaps the final boss for the Pressure x TDS event will be like whoever the creator is, and that's how they collaborate. Whereas if there's something in Pressure that advertises Tower Defense Simulator, it'll probably be more likely to be its own game mode. I've played Pressure once, just for the token. However, I don't know if that's going to be the case, given the fact that it is a horror game and it is for a mature audience, whereas Tower Defense Simulator is for an audience for all, given the fact that there is only occasional violence in Tower Defense Simulator. And if you're under the age of 13, blood is green, not red. Because the last time that Tower Defense Simulator collaborated with a Roblox game, Please Donate didn't really have too much in terms of Tower Defense Simulator content. There was an advertisement in Please Donate near the main part of the lobby, which advertised players to go to Tower Defense Simulator, and there was a Tower Defense Simulator booth in Please Donate. However, in terms of gameplay stuff, I mean, you can't really gameplay too much in Please Donate anyways, but there wasn't too much in terms of the collaboration within Please Donate. I would have to assume that in Pressure x TDS, that would change slightly. However, we don't know if there's going to be a skin. I very much like there to be a skin, and given the fact that the Arsenal x TDS collaboration planned there to be a skin, and Please Donate x TDS did have a skin, I would assume that a Pressure x TDS would have a skin as well. What the skin is going to be, I don't know. Maybe it's probably for the Scout, given the fact that everyone has a Scout, or maybe even the Sniper. The Sniper doesn't get any love nowadays. Given the fact that it has to be at least a starter tower, or at best a low intermediate tower, because new players to Tower Defense Simulator coming from Pressure would need to have the towers within Tower Defense Simulator to get the skin, I don't expect it to be something like the Commander skin, or a Minigunner skin, or a Ranger skin, for example. With that being said though, there could be a quest within Tower Defense Simulator, which is an optional quest to get you a better skin, or a good looking skin for a higher level tower, similar to the Booth Farm in the Please Donate collaboration. Now, for all the speculation on a Pressure x TDS event, which Below Natural has said that it was going to happen at one point, it's not officially confirmed yet, and Below Natural has never made an announcement for this, as far as I'm aware, Pressure has never also made an announcement for this. This is only kind of like behind the scenes stuff that Below Natural has confirmed that Pressure was meant to collaborate with Tower Defense Simulator and vice versa, but for some reason, that's not happened yet. If I had to guess, it would be because the developmental teams aren't really on page yet and their timelines don't sync up. It's the same reason why the Arsenal x Tower Defense Simulator collaboration hasn't got off the ground yet, because both the development teams do want to do it. In fact, the Arsenal developmental team have gone on paper saying that they wanted to do it all the way back in 2023, even 2022 I believe, saying that we want to do it, however our timelines for the collaboration do not line up with Tower Defense Simulator's timeline, and this was at a time when Tower Defense Simulator was working on in the background for their own matchmaking stuff, but also like the Lunar Overture event and the Solar Eclipse event as well, which are closer than you might think. Now that Tower Defense Simulator has a larger developmental team, you would think that there'll be more collaborations, and in theory there are. You got the Walmart, you got Amazon, you got Please Donate, and you got Philips Necrello. However, this has to be a mutual thing between the two companies, and I would assume for the American company stuff like Walmart, Tower Defense Simulator is being paid to have this in the game, which is relatively easy to do, and there's not much content that Tower Defense Simulator have to add, whereas for Pressure X TDS, there would need to be a lot more content in Tower Defense Simulator, thereby meaning that a lot of time would need to be invested into that collaboration. Unlike Walmart, where the Tower Defense Simulator team can just slap in a farm skin for people to get, and that's it, that's the collaboration, that's the entirety of the collaboration, for 199 Robux, or for a mission quest. Yeah, within existing parameters within Tower Defense Simulator. So you can very easily see why it would take some time for a Pressure Tower Defense Simulator collaboration to occur, which is why I don't think it's going to happen this year. That being said though, I wouldn't be surprised if it's towards the end of this year, similar to when the Please Donate X Tower Defense Simulator collaboration occurred, in about November time-ish. Certainly I don't think it'll be around Roblox Developer Conference time, so that would be like in a 2 months time-ish, like August, September, because then Tower Defense Simulator would need to focus on the Halloween event, and then that's like the time period where Tower Defense Simulator gets a respite to do something collaborative. Then again though, that's also the time for Christmas, so you never know when a collaboration could occur.